You know exactly what she'll bring every week. Her speed, her tackling ability, but also her ability to go forward and kick goals for the Dockers. And she's been there since day one. So congratulations, Hayley. And yeah, so amazing to see.
She was good last week, adding disposals and a goal. I tell you who else was good last week was Emma O'Driscoll with 21 disposals. She plays her 50th game this afternoon. Got her numbers mixed up a bit during the last couple of weeks. I actually thought last week was her 50th, so had family and friends on board, and even the banner today, they made a bit of a joke, Abs, that it's her 50th today. So she's going through it the second time around.
That is the most Emma O'Driscoll thing I've ever heard. She is a real character. But as you just said, how do you get that wrong? How do you get that wrong? You invite your friends, your family, everybody to your 50th, only to find out that it is game at number 49.
Game 52 for Hannah Priest. The captain has played every game for this since this St Kilda side's been in the competition. She's been a stalwart for them, and just her leadership, calm, cool, collected.
You just described her beautifully. Just that cool presence out there just sets them up beautifully in defence, but as we know, generates a lot of their ball movement and attack off that half-back line as well.
So an important game for both sides, just to stretch a little bit above the chasing pack inside that top 8 for season 9 in AFLW competition. We're set to go here in perfect conditions. Min Strom just flashed on the screen, Abby. She's really important. She's having career best year really at Fremantle.
Career best numbers, and I absolutely love just the way that she competes at every stoppage. She works the ground really well, covers it well. She's got a really good base of fitness, but just a strong competitor in the air, and that's exactly what the Fremantle Dockers need from her is, you know, the domination that she can provide in the ruck, but the way that she covers the ground and competes really hard to bring the footy to ground.
Nick Del Santo mentioned during the week that he thought they got outworked contest to contest against the Hawks, the Saints. It's going to be another tough ask.
It is, and he also mentioned their inability to get that ball movement going. We know that St Kilda love the outside run. They like to own, you know, the uncontested possession game against their opposition. They weren't able to do that against the Hawks last week, so they'll be hoping to
park. And a free kick already going to the milestone girl and Hayley Miller. She gets the first kick away through the middle, and they get that run early. Freo kick inside's a little bit haphazard, and it's been chopped off, so the Saints can look to repel. Priest decides to go back. And they're just chipping it short, Saints. They do like to run a gun, Abs, and sometimes though they get locked into just kicking long down the line, as that's a fabulous smother. Really well done by Lally to keep it in the area.
They do, and we so often say about St Kilda, they look really damaging when they look laterally and are able to, I guess, affect the switch, and sides that come up against them are smart enough to really shut that down and force them long down the line.
Fiedler do the ruck work against Strom. Strom does it herself, gets the clearance away too. Runnels under pressure. And a free kick for too high, too low. So the Dockers a chance to go inside, forward 50 again. Plenty of numbers ahead of the footy. Just a chipping ball over the top. Hoping for a mark. Fighting for it at ground level, and Jacobson, that's a good tackle.
Great tackle by Jacobson. Just grabbed the other arm so that Hayley Miller just couldn't affect a handball nor a kick.
So they use the outer side of the RSEA part, carried over the top of Wardlow. And the numbers are with the Dockers. Little hand pass inside to Strom, who's immediately under pressure. And the pressure's affected the hand pass. Scanlon has work to do, and she's given away the free kick. So the Saints, really the first time they've had hands on the footy. And Exxon can spot up a target. Wardlow goes inside quickly. Fellow forwards weren't on the same page. They'll do well if Esley can hold it up, or it's... Dockers have done well to get it out of there in a hurry. Kick goes wide. Good mark taken by Watson. They've been trying to be slow and deliberate with their ball move, and that time Strom read it best. Down the line, has a good lead of McDonald. So neither side firing a shot early yet in this one. That's a little shove too for the mark. The umpire said play on. As Priest applied the pressure. Up towards half forward, Hetherington. did well in the contest, and then at ground level got it back to Miller. Chipping ball to Strong. Looking up the numbers early. Gets the hands off to the run of Hetherington. One way, then the other. Pugh goes inside, and a wonderful contested mark taken in front by Stevens.
It was a good build-up by the Dockers, though. Really methodical in their approach. They're happy to play a real tempo brand, so they can go kick mark, but when that handball and the overlap run is there, they'll absolutely give it.
And the Saints are out in a hurry to Lambert out on the wing. Brilliant last week in her 75th game. 22 disposals and 5 clearances. She's got it to Smith. They look up towards half forward. Through the fingertips, work to do for Brazel to get around Wardlaw. Does okay initially, but Guttridge with a fabulous tackle. The umpire said play on at the end of all that, so Guttridge just goes goalward. There's no one in the goal square, gets over the top of hands. And in the end, held up.
Well done by Guttridge. We say so often, just play to the whistle. Everybody thought there was a whistle there that just did not come. So Guttridge, I guess, composed really, just grabbed the footy and was able to load inside 50.
Yeah, stayed focused on it. Yeah, Strom comes out wide. Off target, but off hands, so it'll be thrown in. He's looking for Beaton Webb-Webster. So Strong with the 5 disposals already to start this one. Beaton's going to have her work cut out. Wins that one down in front. Smith onto it, wrapped up by Miller, can't get rid of it. Umpire says holding the footy.
Well done, Miller. Just didn't allow her opposition any time and space. Just relentless in both attack and defence is Hayley Miller.
So pokes it wide, finds McCarthy, the match winner from last week. Strong with another disposal. They run it down the line. Tough work in the marking contest. Gigawatt was made to earn it. Back in the side this week. With those forced changes from the Dockers camp. Good smother, puts the Saints defenders under pressure. Lambert has to turn tackler.
Gee, on your tie is a big loss to the Dockers side, isn't it, Joe? I know you touched on it off the top, but she's always such a focal point for the Dockers inside 50, and why wouldn't you? So crafty, can do things that not too many players can do. So
absolutely,
we wish her all the very best for their recovery, but shattered that we won't see her for the remainder of the season.
Fedler wins it down, Lambert tries to crash over the top. She's here on your tyre. Actually saw her talking earlier to Steph Chiocci from the Saints, who's partway through her recovery from an ACL. As Newton gets the clearance away, not to beat him with Webster. Just taps it down, fighting hard for it. Lambert puts a tackle in over the top. Plenty of players in the air. The umpire will come in to ball it up.
You can see there the handball numbers. I mean, 17-2. The Dockers are just taking mark or gaining possession and then looking to give the handball to go forward as quickly as they possibly can.
Jacobson got it out to Vesely. Just had to shuffle it out away from the tackler. Lambert did well. Kicks it back through the middle. The chase is on. Numbers are with the Dockers. Just need to work together. Brazel the first there. Can turn and go. Usually a good ball user. One-on-one on the outer wing. Doing really well was McDonald against a couple in the end.
Well done, McDonald. That footy looked as though it was going out the back from Ash Brazel, but she managed to push back really quick, find the opposition body, just affect it.
Strong with the tap down. Newton with the tackle. Fiedler does well that time. Past Smith. Not a lot of space at those stoppages, Abs.
Who's there?
Newton wanted the free kick. Nothing doing. A hurry kick through the middle. The Saints charge away. Wardlaw in a battle with Brazel. Brazel quick, ball carves away. Brazel staying on it, does well, gets some support now too. And the Dockers will do well to work this out group. Pugh, but a fabulous smother. Guttridge, the hand pass, and then gets settled in the tackle. Just taps it away. They keep it alive here. Hurried kick from Kelly. Off hands. And it's the first. It's not the first score of the game, but hit the post. It'll be thrown in deep inside forward 50 for the Saints.
How good was that one-on-one with Ash Brazel and Jesse Wardlaw? Braz just kept the footy in motion, but paddled it out in front. But credit to the St Kilda Footy Club for the defence that they applied. They keep the ball inside their forward 50.
Wardlaw now doing the ruck work against Strong. Brazel wrapped up immediately by Xenos. Wardlaw tapped it to a dangerous spot. Trying to charge through was Richards. Ball still alive. Hurriedly, this one's touched off hands. Kelly fighting hard for it. Lambert's in there. She's a goal sneak. Gets it back to Richards, who just pokes it over the top. And the defence under pressure. Brazel just trying to paddle it to herself. Now puts the Shepherd on. And they can look to clear it away, although that forward pressure from the Saints is fantastic. Wardlaw trying to battle off two. Needs to get moved to ball and does somehow. Trickling back out towards the boundary line, and Xenos will see it roll away.
The Dockers are just flooding the space. We spoke to Nick Dal Santo. He said they like to get plenty around the footy, and it's just not allowing the Saints any time and space or any easy disposal. The pressure and the heat is relentless early.
Wardlaw got rid of Strom, tapped away Lambert. She's dangerous around goal, sizes up the big sticks and just offline. And there is the first score, that behind to Jamie Lambert.
Good craft around stoppage from Jamie Lambert, one of the best in the competition, just shaking an opponent and finding centimetres of space.
So Pugh looks to play on, finds Scanlon. And over the top, slow and deliberate from the Dockers. Low with the hand pass wide. Looking to Brazel as time to wait for it to bounce. On the left, just chips it up. Saints have been able to disrupt it though. That was well done by Kelly. Hurried kick down the line is wide. It'll bounce away. Brazel will take the result and kick for the last touch.
Strong, leading disposal winner on the ground. 7 disposals already, 3 marks. 4 uncontested possessions. So that just shows the work rate of the ruck. Ability to cover the ground so well, find space.
Scanlon went back to Brazel, who takes the grass left in front of her and decides to go. Goes by hand. Back through the middle. Under pressure, Kaufman. Just a hurried kick back round the corner. Hetherington gets beaten for it. Priest takes a moment to assess her options and then goes by hand. Finds Watson in a 1-2. But Newton reading it best off the boot. And the long sleeves up towards Miller. Goes wide. Well read. Kick chopped off or free kick.
This is a credit to St Kilda's defence. The handball receives 20-8. So Fremantle really trying to use that run and gun game, but to their credit, Saints defence just chopping everything off and not allowing Freo to have any real deep looks inside 50.
They looked to bring it out towards the commentary side, and Kelly decided to go through the middle. Smith does well. Hurry kick from Stevens. Well done in the marking contest. Go guys! Little up and under, it needs to get a hand on it. Fabulously done. Bent round the corner by Kikawak. Kelly read it well, goes back to Jacobson, who's made to move for it. Well, umpire gave her the benefit of the doubt, I think, in the end. Might have just found the blade of grass before the hands. Miller was all over it. So Jacobson finds Smith. Both sides really looking to penetrate with the short ball, aren't they, Abs? Priest does so over the top. Simpson. Hurried little hand pass. McDonald inside 50. Wardlaw fights for it. Richards initially made good position for the mark. Back towards Lambert. Over the top. Exxon. Salsa Candy. And then the first goal. She can be dangerous. That's her 20th goal in a 50-game career now next on. Just wanted to get herself in a slightly better position to make the most of the opportunity. And the Saints, for a weight of numbers in the end, it's 6 inside 50s to 4, but you feel like it's spent more time inside the Saints forward half.
Well, that's the ball movement for the St Kilda Footy Club. That's what Nick Del Santo wanted. They effected the switch, which stretched Fremantle's defence, and the Dockers are really trying to condense this Saints side into limited space. And how about that? Sold some candy, did Nat Exon, and sends through St Kilda's first.
So good start from the Saints. It was hard work to find the first major. Under good conditions here at RSEA Park in Moorabbin. Strong from the middle again. McCarthy got a shuffled hand pass on as far as Guttridge, although that's a wonderful tackle to be holding the footy. So what can the Dockers do from here? Kick has slightly too much carry on it. Crash of bodies there too. Umpire said play on. Strom charging through over it. We'll try and find it again. Priest good to Smith. Hurriedly up and under, but waiting underneath it is low. Has time to spill it and recover. And then just a chipping ball up will need a fly. Waves go to ground before the ball gets there, and the umpire's found a free kick. So it's going to work out okay for, I think, Ebony Antonio is going to end up with footy in hand.
You can just see there, though, back-to-back entries for the Dockers as we take a look at that free kick that was definitely there. But Fremantle's entries are all really shallow, about 35, 40 metres out.
So take a good kick here from Antonio. It's not quite going to have the carry. Saints under pressure at ground level. Hurried hand pass out, just trying to keep it in was Runnels. The clearing kick. Found by O'Driscoll. The 50 gamer. Those friends and family must have returned to a good cheer when she had a hand on the footy again. The Saints look to clear.
Great kick. Just opening up the ground.
They look to use that outer side on most of their occasions end to end. This time it's come undone. Antonio got taken high
From effectively
Same spot.
the exact same spot.
So you think she's not going to have the carry. So let's see what she does this time. Already spots up something she likes as Newton.
St Kilda's defence, once again though, this is a long shot from Newton. They're doing so well just protecting the 30 deep and really making the Fremantle Dockers work for every inside 50 ball.
Gab Newton sets sail. You can see it sway a little bit on the breeze, and a mark in the last line of defence. Arnalda. He chips it here from the umpire. Not far enough, but Watson's got time. Boot to ball out wide to Guttridge. I think Nick Del Santo will be pretty happy with their ball movement in this first term.
Definitely. You can see the Dockers are trying to really clog them up, but as soon as St Kilda can get that ball movement going and find the space, they look really dangerous.
This one's going to work out okay too. Vesely looks for the grass right. We'll need the run of Kelly, who went without the footy. Under pressure still, those Runnels. Gets some run from O'Driscoll. He pokes it over the top to McCarthy. He puts on a fierce tackle over the top too. Umpire letting them play. That one came out and then East got crunched. Hurried up and under. His time ticks away in this first term. Darting through to Karina. But chopped off and Trudgeon can go back through the middle. You're in best position, but she'll be under pressure. Does well to get that little hand pass over the top. And plenty of numbers on the broadcast wing. As O'Driscoll chips it further afield. Might get word from the bench that there's less than 30 seconds in the term as Antonio goes short to Newton. Thought about the hand pass. Goes that way in the end, just flirting with the boundary line, the Dockers. There's the tackle over the top. Looked high momentarily, but the umpire said it was okay.
The Saints double tackle numbers for the Fremantle Dockers, 20-10. So much pressure. Soon as the Dockers take possession, there is absolutely a body there.
Runnels with a little toe poke inside 50. Burke was good. Siren sounds for quarter time. An interesting quarter. It's been fierce. It's been tough. Both sides just trying to manoeuvre the footy. Short kicks cleanly trying to get through the traffic. To Kilda. They've hit the first punches. 1-1-7 the Saints. The Freos yet to score here. First term RSEA Park.
After moments of both great triumph,
The American Dragon is the AEW World Champion!
and unimaginable defeat,
Just turned on Danielson. How far do you take something?
there is one question to answer. Was it all a dream? Or is this your reality? On this night, you create the answer. AEW Wrestle Dream.
Honey,
We'll be on one salary.
it's not too much of a stretch.
Maybe just leave it, honey. It's all right. You've got this. Let's get this cot home. We probably don't need all these baby clothes.
If you need help wrangling your money, we're right there with you. NAB, more than money.
Lovely thing about together. It goes a long way.
With a 1 in 4 chance to win, we cross now to the prize warehouse.
Lisa, we've got a 10 grand Amazon.com.au gift card. We've got Bosch Ultimate Tool Kits and the Isuzu MUX SUV.
I still can't believe you switched to a new one.
I know. I thought it would make things go further.
Compare the retirements. When Lynn and Judy retired 5 years ago, they both took a regular income from their super. Judy didn't stick with her industry super fund. Lynn did. Will your money go further? Compare your retirement today.
It's footy finals time at Harvey Norman. Save $500 on this king-size Sony TV, plus bonus local delivery and wall mount installation. Grill and air fry halftime snacks with the extra-large Ninja Foodie Grill. Now under $1,700, this Hisense French door fridge. What a winner! Save $800 on the latest LG 65-inch OLED TV, plus bonus local delivery and wall mount installation. Plus up to a further $700 off when you buy selected LG TVs with a matching soundbar. Now at Harvey Norman.
Don't let muscle pain hold you back. Voltaren Gel relieves pain to get you moving sooner. It's not just movement, it's making their eyes light up. Voltaren, the joy of movement.
I'll see you at the footy. I'll see you at the end. We'll see the crowd of orange, the play is orange to the air into the grey. I'll see you. Shankte. I'll see you.
Yeah, this is St Kilda where they're up and going. He touched on their ball movement. They weren't able to get it going last week, but they utilised the switch. The Dockers are really trying to condense the ground and hold them into, you know, a small spot. But when they're able to get the footy on the outside, switch it around, and then Nut X in there, a little bit of candy, take it to the candy shop, and a brilliant finish to go with it.
So just the one goal, it was that one. It's been an interesting, almost a game of chess way. Both sides have tried to move the footy. St Kilda very short, deliberate. And Fremantle with the run and the carry and trying to use the hands.
Yeah, that's the difference, isn't it? The Dockers, they're getting that run and gun going. They're +12 in handball receives, but they're just lacking that mid-forward connection piece. And all of their entries, they were +2 on the Saints, but all of those entries bar 2 were really shallow along that 50 arc. So they need to try and penetrate and get them a little deeper.
So let's see if the Dockers look to change things up in this second term, as it's the Saints who get the clearance, smooth through Smith. Wide, Lambert does well just to tap it on. The Dockers hurriedly up towards half forward. Stevens leads in the race to find the footy. Gets it over the top to Kelly. Dangerous kick inboard. Really well done. Underneath by Vesely, who's got a couple of options in through the middle. Priest, the captain in game number 50, goes to Jacobson. And they can look out the other side. The ball movement really has been a feature already for the Saints. McDonald looks a little wide on an Exxon. Through the middle. This time had too much carry on it. Now they did well to get it to Vesely. Towards half forward. Zenos goes back to find it against Brazel, and has her wrapped up. Strong, this has been a good contest. Strong was fantastic in that first term. Kelly has it smothered away and wrapped up with Smith. So Fiedler wanted front spot. Strong just pushed her out of the area. Vesely wrapped up by McCarthy.
This is what the Fremantle Dockers want early. It's just repeat stoppages, just try and condense it and don't let the Saints find that switch and utilise the space.
Miller just uses her strength to get it through the middle. Wants Antonio. Jacobson leads her to the footy. Paddling to herself. Loses her feet though. So Antonio can fire it back to Runnels, who's crunched. Now Richards felt the crunch of that tackle too. The two number 22s.
It's a great tackle. Jacobson just needed to keep her feet as well. Went to ground way too easy, but to their credit, had the support there in Richards.
So Richards goes long. Wardlaw did well just to make it a contest. Zenos just hurriedly kicks it inside. The race is on. Hugh finds the footy and on her left. Will look to clear the 50. Kelly keeps it in there with a strong tackle.
Love the work rate of Kelly early, getting up the ground, being involved down here in Fremantle's forward half and then getting back to support.
Richards from the stoppage. Just throws it on the boots and also get there just inside the boundary. No, can't keep it in. So an early chance for the Saints here with a stoppage inside forward 50. Just the one goal to Exxon in that first term. Has yet to score. Vesely just turned but went without the footy. Clearing kick from Lally. Up towards the wing. Saints with the numbers. And they work it through hands. Watson chips it over the top to Stevens. Let's get down to Ketchy, Ewan. And the Saints huddle at quarter time. I imagine Nick Del Sano was pretty happy with their work.
There's basically this week he said that they spoke about energy and effort, and he's really loving how the team's really just brought it to Fremantle. What he'd love to see though this quarter is for them to try and shut down Freo's run and carry.
Interesting, thanks to Ketch, because we mentioned that abs, that handball receives numbers have been high. And again they go by hands, this time up towards the forward 50. Well, Holland has to stop and prop, and that's enough time for Priest to come in and slow down the footy.
Yeah, the Dockers are +16 in handballs already, so That's the way that they're trying to take territory, is utilising the hands, running in waves, running in numbers, but it just hasn't been working with that forward connection piece as of yet.
Wardlaw in a hurry over the top. Thought she saw Richards out, but a clever little tap from Runnels. And it's back in the middle in the hands of Newton. Just chips it over the top to Miller. Driscoll flashing past initially for the hand pass. Now decides just to chip it wide to Brazel. Surveying her options, Ash Brazel. Towards half forward, that one had a little bit too much carry. It gets through the back to Jacobson, to Priest. And there's a couple of options deep. Kick out wide. Well done by O'Driscoll just to get a hand on it. Oh, lovely little bit of candy by Kikowak. And then up towards goal. Oh, that is something special. Wonderful work by the Dockers. The way that kick just moved on the breeze. Kikowak. That one's out the top shelf. Not a bad effort for your first goal ever in AFLW to kick one like that.
Let's take another look at this incredible goal. Kikowak with the kick. Sold some candy once again, but just set that one up. Let the footy do the talking. Not a bad way to kick your first goal in the AFLW. Game at 3. That was a sensational finish, and we love that celebration.
Absolutely. Fabulous work. And they've cut the margin to 1 with that goal. So both sides, it almost feels like as both sides are still feeling each other out.
They are, just different ways. You can see that the Saints are really controlling it around the game, the ground with that kick mark game to open the other side, whereas the Dockers, they're trying to take territory with the handball, but just then you saw what it's the way that it works for them when they can just get the footy forward and allow their forwards to get to work.
We know they can kick goals quickly. They kicked 4 goals in the last 8 minutes of the game last week to steal that one off the D's.
It was an incredible comeback, wasn't it?
The second largest comeback from three-quarter time in the AFLW. They got their hands on the footy through Scanlon. They're over the top. I just feel like that one's put a bit of pep in this step, that goal from Kikowak. They move it through Mulholland. Up towards the outstretched arms of McCarthy, who did well at ground level. Got it to O'Driscoll. Chipping ball inside 50. That was lovely footy to beat him with Webster. End-to-end stuff by the Dockers.
That Kikowak goal has definitely lifted them already. You can feel it, just a little shift in momentum. St Kilda had the first 3 inside 50s of this second quarter, but since then, it's been all Dockers with the repeat entries.
Now we saw in that Kikowak kick, there is a bit of a swirly breeze favouring this end. Beaten with Webster, she's thrown the grass in the air. This one's going to land short. McDonald read it best, couldn't take the grab. Miller strong over the footy, got boot to ball, didn't go far. Lambert has some options, Jacobson by hands. It'll go out wide through the outstretched arms of Pugh. And it'll be thrown back in. So Exxon kicked the opening goal in the first term. And the Dockers have hit back for Kikowak in this second. Fiedler couldn't win at McDonald's. Thrown over the footy. Zenos fighting hard for it. Lambert in there too. Doing well, Nalda just shuffled it over the top to find Simpson. Hurried kick with initial bodywork in the contest by Stewart. Couldn't take the grab. Might have just held it up toward Exxon. He was under pressure. Seth, it'll be tossed up.
That Exxon looks to be heading down to the rooms. I'm sure Akesh will be all over that one.
Gets towards the back, Smith to Kelly. Hurriedly on the left. There's a fight for the mark in back play, but O'Driscoll was able to come over the top and wants to change direction. Pugh does well to take the mark. There's some options back on the commentary side. Keeps it short. Reynolds. Told to go. That's a lovely kick straight down the middle. Seth. Wants the run of hands and gets it through Reynolds. The kick comes out a little bit wider to Veria. And again inside 50, that one just had a little too much on it. Henderson, though, turns for home. The playing goalkeeper was the captain in Hannah Priest.
Just didn't hit that one sweetly. I reckon it might have come off the shin. Saints defence getting back to affect it.
Strong does well in the contest.
Great body work.
Chips it back inside, has the lead she likes. Turning in a hurry though, Miller. No, she doesn't have the journey in her. So just went for grass. Just her and Runners weren't quite on the same page, and Guthrie gets in the way.
Hayley Miller's been huge in this second term. Up to 11 disposals for the game, but that connection piece that we spoke about at quarter time between their mids and the forwards, she's been a really big part of that early in the second.
As O'Driscoll wants to chop this one off to Miller. Goes by hands, good pressure from the Saints. They'll be holding the footy. Ketchy, we saw Nat Exxon walk down the race. Have you got any news from the Saints camp?
Yeah, Jo and Abby, she just came off looking really, having to have a little discomfort with her shoulder. The doctor and the physio has assessed her, and then they've just taken her in the room for further assessment, I believe. If I have any more updates, I'll let you guys know.
Thanks, Ketchy. We can see this replay here, perhaps in that bump with Miller. So she's off the ground for now, Exxon. That's Brazel. Goes long up towards the forward 50. Really good defensive work by Trudgeon to take the intercept mark. Has some options deep, decides to go that way. This has really been a feature of their game so far, the Saints. The deliberate ball movement. Watson, who goes out wide to find Kelly. To Mulholland. I guess, to Simpson, sorry, I guess adds the downside with this is you can have so many kicks and you get one wrong and it can come pretty quickly back the other way.
And Fremantle have done really well this quarter to try and stop that. You know, they're still able to affect the switch here, but they're not able to take much territory with that kick. So credit to the Fremantle Dockers and their ability to take that away from the Saints in the second.
Stevens goes long. Hurried up and under from Stewart. Off hands. And a free kick. So what can the Dockers do? Short kicking into Scanlon. He's told to go, stepped off her line, dances around the mark. Spearing ball, was looking for Newton, had too much on it. Strom at the back will get to it first, but onto her is Stevens. Good tackle from Nicola Stevens. And again they go short, Abs, but you're right, the Dockers just slowly starting to close off those options a little more quickly than they were earlier. And it forces Priest to go to a contest. Lambert did well, though under pressure. Simpson.
Great tackle, good chase. Yeah, the Dockers will be okay to concede the lateral kicks. I'll come back in a second.
That's Seth. Gets the hands off, they go hurriedly. Inside forward 50. Kick a whack. Been paid the free kick for the push in the back.
The Dockers are okay to concede those lateral kick marks to the St Kilda side, but they're not taking ground, they're not taking territory, so ultimately the Dockers have them hemmed in their forward half, and on transition, on turnover, they're working really hard back towards goal. And Kikoak, that first goal for the Dockers was sensational. Can she potentially get her second?
So she's directly in front. She's going off the long run. Kikoak sets out, gives her plenty of air. She snuck it in, she has. The Dockers are about toe and they're both to Kikoak. Well, she really got their game going with her first goal. You could just see the spirit lift, and their run and carry has increased since then, the Dockers, and she's been rewarded again, this time with her second goal. Stretch the margin now to 5 points. They've got the lead, the Dockers.
Well, this is the free kick to Kikuak. Yeah, definitely there, just getting into the back. But what a quarter this player is putting together. Kicked her first in the AFLW at the start of this term, now has 2. But a wonderful Tassie product from North Launceston Footy Club, or the Tassie Devils as well, now dominating over in the west for the Dockers.
Making the most of it was a replacement player for the pregnant Kiara Bowers. So when you get your opportunity, Abs, you've got to take them, and she is today, isn't she?
Yeah.
As you see, their Exxon has returned from the rooms. That's potentially a good sign for the Saints. Fingers crossed she can make her way out there again.
Fremantle have had the last 7 consecutive inside 50s and been able to put on these 2 goals. So Kilda just need to look at taking territory no matter what it looks like, as they're doing here.
So he comes up, finding hard for his friends. What can the Saints do? They haven't had the run of it this term.
I feel like from a St Kilda perspective, they look for the perfect play, and if things don't open up, they don't necessarily have a plan B. So for me here, just needs to go forward.
They might have a chance here. Wardle got the hands off, looking for friend. He's immediately wrapped up by East.
It doesn't need to be pretty, is what I'm saying. Whereas when that perfect play opens up and the switch looks good and the ball movement's there, wonderful. But sometimes, if it's ugly, it's okay.
He's wrapped up his East. Smith put the pressure on. He'd love to nab one here, and it might get from the run. You could see the jumper, couldn't you? It was wrapped up, and Wardlaw will have the free kick.
I feel like Wardlaw is such a big barometer for this St Kilda side as well. As we touched on in the pre-game, 34 inside 50s last week, and they were only able to put on the 2 goals, both to Jessie Wardlaw. So if she can get the Saints going here with their second goal, it might just energise the group.
Let's see what Wardlaw can do. From directly in front, looking for the Saints seconds. Looks pretty good off the wing. She's worked it well. And they take back the lead of the Saints. Important one for Jessie. Well, they haven't had it on their terms, the Saints, in this quarter. But they've done well to find a goal through Jessie Wardlaw. They just worked it forward, just the weight of numbers in the end. It wasn't pretty, as you said, Abs, but they got the reward for it, and Jessie Wardlaw's on the board.
This is the free kick to Jessie Wardlaw. It's definitely there. I mean, maybe they both had a bit of a handful of each other's jumpers, but executed perfectly. Jessie Wardlaw, and she's such a confidence player. As I said, can be a real beacon or just energy for them in their forward half. So if they can get Jessie Wardlaw going, they're very hard to stop.
So back in the middle. Strong wins it down. Newton gets pushed off the footy by Smith. Clever little hand pass over the top to McDonald. She won herself the free kick, Smith, and McDonald wanted to get on with it. And she found Ella Friend. Perhaps too far out to score. You can see she's looking for an option inside 50. Plenty of numbers now as the Dockers have filled the space. So maybe now she'll go for home. I have to kick it from 45. Quite enough carry off the boot. They'll dive onto the ground level.
Yeah, definitely dragged back in. Yeah, definitely dragged back in there. But I love they've just flicked a switch, have St Kilda, and just said we've got to go forward. want to take the game on. They've had the last couple of looks inside 50, and they look really damaging when they can go quick.
So East will just keep it along the wing. Good work in front by Nolda. So inside 90 seconds to play in the half. And it chips it up towards Waldler. It won't get there. O'Driscoll did well in the contest. Smith over the top to Lambert. Has her hand pass ricochet away. Brassel with work to do. Lovely tackle. And Smith has got the free kick. Too far out to score, so wants to go in a hurry. That's wonderful vision, and she's found Vesely.
To speed on the ball and keeping it in motion. We know how strong they are at that kick mark game, but utilising the handball, just getting it forward no matter what it looks like, taking territory, it's paying dividends.
So Vesely just pokes it to the pocket. No mark, still alive underneath. O'Driscoll as well. Shuffles it toward Pugh out there. Jacobson will try and keep it in. Just got boot to ball in time. Slips through the fingers of Vesely, who's under pressure from McCarthy. Smith, who's had a good couple of minutes, can't fight away from the tackle. Will be thrown up. Nolda in front, that was good to Smith. Couldn't get it to Vesely. Watson did well, but it was interrupted. Meeting when Webster could get the hand pass away and the hurried kick into the middle. Trudgeon, perhaps not quite enough time for a last score. Unless they get a good fly here. Perhaps there is enough time. And probably the player, Nick Del Sano, would want to have ball in hand as the siren sounds. We'll take her best from here, Abs.
It's going to take an almighty roost, but if there was anybody that could do it, it's probably Jessie Wardlaw.
So the umpire just reminding her she's got to run straight in the line. Oh, she's going to top. We love this.
Unload.
Jessie Wardlaw with the top after the siren. Doesn't quite get onto it. So they can snuff out that last effort. But it was a really important goal late by Jessie Wardlaw. And the Saints have the lead. But really in that term, the Dockers had the run of play.
There was plenty of shifts in momentum. I mean, so Kilda had the first 3 inside 50s of the term before Freo went bang, bang, bang with 7 consecutive and were able to put on a couple of goals. But to St Kilda's credit, they got the game back on their terms late in that term. A couple of repeat entries, but they just changed their approach. They weren't looking for the perfect play and you know, the switch to work their way around. They just took territory no matter what it looked like. They look really damaging. I mean, they're plus 20 in marks already are the Saints, and clearances numbers in their favour as well, 13-9.
Well, the catch is downstairs with T. Smith, but a good finish to that term, and her side leads it by a point.
Yeah, T, a bit of a wrestle in that quarter. What did you guys do?
Yeah, we just really tried to control the footy. Obviously, it's really hot in there, so just getting a bit of control on the outside.
And what are you going to do in this second half?
Yeah, I think we're playing really well, so if we just keep that up, sometimes we're over-possessing it a little bit, so just getting it long when we've got the opportunity.
Good luck. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, it's a tight one here. It's just a 1-point margin. The Saints lead at 2-1-13. Freo up 2 straight 12. We've got plenty to come on the other side of the break, and plenty to...
All right, there we go. It is halftime, folks, here at Resi Park. I tell you what, she's not big scoring out there today, is it? But it's the Saints leading 2-1-13 to the Dockers. 2 straight goals, 12. There we go. The Saints putting on 1 goal in that second term. And, of course, the Dockers, all their score come from that second term of the 2 goals. Hopefully the game will open up a little bit. It's a tough old match. It's a tough grind for both teams out there, but you know, it's getting it done. Sometimes you get these games that are tight like that. Other times you get fantastic games, high scoring, open games, free flowing. But let's just hope the second half we will see a fantastic game as well. But it's close, and that's what we like to say. We always like to say a close game is a good game. All right, let's go and have a look at the player stats there up until half time. And Serene Watson there leading the way for St Kilda. Hayley Miller there with 12 also. Both girls topping the charts with 12 disposals. All pretty even play around the ground from the players there today. As I always say, there's no dominating player out there at the moment. All doing their jobs well. Hey, L's Adventure Vlogs, welcome in. One more day until the big game. That's exactly right. Everyone's saying the big dance. I don't know why they're saying that. Is it just a trend of things that people saying? I don't say the dance. I say the big game. The game is on. That's right. We're about 21 hours, 35 minutes away till the AFL Grand Final where Sydney take on Brisbane Lions here at the MCG. It's going to be a cracking game tomorrow. Just a reminder to everyone in the chat, we will be covering that game tomorrow and we will be live at 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock for the 2:30 start. It's going to be great. Looking forward to it. Everyone's looking forward to this game. I think the best two sides are there in it. All right. Tunisia Kikok. Is that how you say it? For Freo. She's the only goal scorer for Fremantle. She's the only multiple goal scorer on the ground with 2 goals. The other single goal scorers there, of course, for the Saints, Jesse Wardlaw and Nat Exton. Just having a look at the AFL fantasy points. If you play that game for the AFLW, Jamie Lambert tops the table on 60. Serene Watson there, 56. Hayley Miller on 50. All the rest a little bit below. Let's have a little bit of a look at the team stats there at the moment. It's all pretty square, isn't it? Disposal count, anyway, 134, 123, only 11 the difference in favour of the Saints. The Saints, though, 21 more kicks, 10 more kicks to the Dockers. Both sides going inside 50, plenty of times, 15 for the Saints for their 3 scoring shots, and of course 16. 1 extra for the Dockers just for their 2. Disposal efficiency around the ground, not too bad, 69% for St Kilda. They're going to be pretty happy with that, 61.8 for the Dockers. Free kicks, there's a few out there today, 9 to 10, so the umpire's been kept busy. The hit-outs, all pretty even, as the clearances, centre clearances, stoppage clearance. As I said, she's a pretty even, tight fought game, this one here today, folks. 55-54 contested. Uncontested, the Saints a little bit more, and the turnover's pretty similar. Even time in possession for the match, 41-42%. There we go. All right, folks, let me take you back down to the commentators, and they'll have a little bit of a word. And I think they might be talking about Serene Watson at the moment.
I absolutely love having her as a teammate, and she is just absolutely amazing. I love being part of a team. I finished my last day of school and my mum asked me, how was school, Han? And I said, Mum, I just love being part of a group. From that young age, I absolutely love being a part of a team, and being a part of a team also teaches you so much more than the tactical and technical skills of the game, but you learn so much more than you can ever learn in life in general.
Hannah's a really down-to-earth girl. She's always got a really infectious energy to her. She just wants to see her teammates do great, so she's always challenging us to do better and, you know, keeping us accountable and making sure that everyone's kind of on the journey together to achieve a collective goal.
Side leader by a point today. Such a cool, calm, collected captain, isn't she? In game 50, she's played every game for the Saints. You imagine the kind of player that you sort of walk a bit taller when you walk out beside her?
Absolutely. 50 games for Hannah Priest. What a milestone. But just the leadership just oozes it. She's such a good person. And you just heard from some of her teammates there, just the communication piece. And as you touched on, Joe, just makes everybody walk a little bit taller.
Congratulations. There's a few milestone girls today. She's enjoying this one, Hannah Priest, and she'd be really happy with the way her side is going so far. Such a good decision maker, Priest, and they've been making a lot of decisions, Saints, because they've really tried to move the ball in a really deliberate manner.
They have, and so composed is Hannah Priest, and she was a brick wall in defence early, particularly with the Fremantle Dockers with those really, I guess, shallow inside 50 entries. She was just a brick wall and able to repel and send it forward in the Saints' direction.
Exxon kicked their first goal. Wardlaw kicked a really important one late. But the Cole special moment, Kikowak kicked her first goal ever in AFLW action. She's got 2 now as well.
How good is this in game 3 in the AFLW? It was a beautiful passage of play by the Dockers, and have a look at that. Yoink, just sold the candy, set the footy up. There's a slight breeze out there, and that just did the talking. But she managed to kick her second as well in that term, and has really got the Fremantle Dockers positioned beautifully to half-time. But we love that as our Coles special moment. The celebration was epic.
And it was really after that goal that the Freo Dockers got a bit of a run on. They did take the lead until Wardlaw hit Bat Lake. So come back with us, because only a point in ourselves. We've got plenty of action to come here at RSEA Park in the second half. And then, of course, there's plenty more action tonight. It's the Dogs who take on the Swans. A really important game. The Dogs showed a little something last week. The Swans have been in pretty good form. So at Whitten Oval, it'll be interesting to see who can get the chocolates in that one tonight. So much footy action across this weekend. AFLW and, of course, AFLM as well. Don't turn away from your screens.
the Saints, they really wanted to control it on the outside, and they were doing that, but they couldn't take territory. So for Lisa Webb, I think she would have been really happy with her side's ability to take back momentum and really just generate a lot of inside 50 entries. And it was that handball receive game that opened up that overlap run that really got them going.
We'll see how things unfold early. It was a quick takeaway from McCarthy in the middle. Although standing underneath with Watson, reading that one well. Then a long kick to move the footy to Lambert. Has a couple to beat now. O'Driscoll was onto it. Mulling in there too. O'Driscoll emerges with the footy. Little hand pass off to Scanlon in the middle. Strom started the game in electric fashion. McCarthy hurriedly up towards half forward. Jacobson stands in the way. And then it's all wrapped up. By Mulholland. No, the free kick's too high. So Trudgeon will climb up to take the kick. I'll be interested to see if the Saints camp have changed anything in the way they move the footy. Here's McDonald, goes short. Whether they decide to pull the trigger a little bit earlier or perhaps try and get a little bit of run. Watson down the line. Wardlaw has it taken away. The Dockers will look to go through the middle. Antonio and passes it off to Miller, and a bounce and a burst through the middle. Up towards the forward line. A fantastic mark. Just really well read end-to-end stuff, and they want to go quickly. Hurry with the hand pass back off to Miller. Flying shot on goal. It's offline. Perhaps hitting the post. Yeah, shaving the padding, I think, Abs.
Hannah Miller thought that was going through for a goal, but it has just nicked the post on the way through. But that was a great build-up by the Fremantle Dockers. Turnover from transition, really quick forward. A nice mark, but they opted to take that handball. Unfortunately, just the behind.
So we're all square here. Now 113 apiece. It's the Dockers who'll go back inside, forward 50. Up and under Newton. Got a hand to it. Lambert. Smith. The long lead of Wardlaw has to put the spoil on in the end. Couldn't take the mark. Little chipping ball finds O'Driscoll. Out to the commentary side with Reynolds. Plenty of players in front, all fighting towards the boundary. That's where Reynolds will go. Down in front, McCarthy. Hurriedly boots the ball. Antonio did well to hold her space. Stevens with a good tackle, and the umpire will come in to sort it out.
Fremantle have come out firing in this third term, the first 4 entries of the third.
Lambert just got boot to ball. This one's going to go out of bounds, so last touch means O'Driscoll will have footy in hand. Game 50. And the family and friends who've made the trip down will love this one. Of course, thought last week was her 50th, so she's had 2 goes at it, O'Driscoll. Perhaps last week was the warm-up. Hand pass off, finds McCarthy. Dribbling ball inside 50, gets to the back. Trudgeon does it really well. And finds Watson. He wants to go. Can be a real driver for them across half-back. Serene Watson, that's a great kick to friend.
Watson's been huge. 16 disposals, leading disposal winner on the ground, and 345 metres gained already. That is a massive number from Watson.
Absolutely.
14 uncontested possessions as well. That run and carry, 5 handball receives. Putting together some kind of game.
So unopposed in the ruck. Bede able to win it down. Lambert to McDonald's. Up towards half forward, over the top. Ran underneath. Scanlon turns, kicks it back through the middle. The bounce might work out okay. Underneath Mulholland. Gets the hand pass off to Newton. Kicks under pressure to work out to Antonio. She can keep going. She has a bounce, trying to run away in the end. Has to stop and block to get past Kelly. And it's a beautiful pass inside to Hetherington.
Mount Holland has had some ripping moments in this third term. Just courageous efforts, taking the game on, taking the player on and getting the ball going Fremantle's way. This was good by Antonio, just to take a bounce, take grass, and then the composure, not to blaze away, not to try and
take a shot at goal, but to hit a target, maybe just on 15 metres that kick. Just
14 and a half. So Hetherington. Lining up the big sticks, just starts at right, never really gave it a chance. And that behind is the margin.
Yet to kick a goal as well in AFLW.
Ketchy, we saw Exxon get some treatment during the first half. How's she looking for this second half?
Yeah, some really positive news on the Saints side. So Exxon's been on the bench for over 18 minutes now, and she's gone in for a few assessments. She's come back on now. She's on the bench, and she's all good to go. She'll be going back on soon.
It's great news for Saints fans. Kick the opener in this one. It's Veria, chips it short to Newton. Didn't get enough elevation on the kick. Might go back to final though. Lambert's got a free kick off the footy. Jamie Lambert. Game 75 last week. The blinder too. Finds Feedline. They've got a little bit of run, but they're under pressure. Kelly has to kick hurriedly, and it's out of bounds on the full.
Everything that the Saints have done in this third term has been under pressure. So they've created a number of turnovers, have the Dockers. They've really upped their intensity around the player and around the footy.
Brazel chips it short. Zenos stands in the way. Wants to go quickly, finds Lambert through the middle. Chips it back over the top. Half volley to Smith. Little hand pass off to McDonald. Little untidy going inside 50, but Ward will be on the end of it. Hemmed in near the boundary and just carries it over in front of Brazel. Jesse Wardle's goal late in the second term was an important one for the Saints after Freo had kicked two and had all the run in the second term. Probably needed a fire in this second half if they're to get the chocolates. Fiedler over the back, Seth charging and is wrapped up by Richards. Fiedler and Strong, East battling for it. Zenos emerges with it to Simpson. Throws it on the boot. Richards, a little hand pass off to Friend. Just offline. Couldn't make the most of the opportunity.
Friend had a lot more time than she thought in that situation. You can't blame her though. There was a couple of Fremantle Dockers, but they went forward. She went back and had some more time to execute that kick.
They're going to get another chance here, the Saints. Up and under inside 50, Lambert set herself through hands. O'Driscoll. Kick comes out under pressure. Seth fighting for it against McDonald.
O'Driscoll's.
It's East, sorry.
East is sore behind play. It was a big hit. Good to see her back up on her feet.
Sucking the big one strong. Does it herself from the ruck. Now passes goes astray initially, but it works out okay. Kick down the wing. Macarena underneath. Kick work there too. Dickerson just had to dance out of the way. Burke puts the tackle on. The umpire will come in and throw it up.
Let's take another look at this one. Yeah.
Just crunched by Smith. Set from the stoppage. Guttridge pylon. Hoffman underneath.
It's big numbers up around the ball as well from the Fremantle Dockers.
They've somehow managed to find an exit. Driscoll's kick wide open is out of bounds.
Yeah, they did well to get that out. There's a lot of players around the footy. We know that St Kilda like to send them up around the contest as well, so to get it from the inside to the outside, it's going to be interesting to see which midfields can really get on top in that area.
Well, they've lost the handle on the footy, the Saints. The kick didn't quite get there. McCarthy turns it over, and then Hetherington perhaps another chance to get it first again offline. And they just creep into the lead by that point.
The target Hetherington is in their forward half, though. A really good size, close to 180 centimetres, but as you could see there, quite agile as soon as the footy hits the ground.
So Saints with some work to do to get through this one. Scanlon at the mark from the kick in. It hasn't shown on the scoreboard yet, but Fremantle have really had the run of play since the second term. It was almost the accidental talk that found McCarthy. McCarthy was the match winner last week. Kicked a goal after the siren.
It's their 8th entry in this third term, Joe, for little bang for the buck on the scoreboard. So they really need to capitalise on this forward territory dominance.
So Ashley McCarthy just bends it round the corner. It's not quite going to have the carry off the hand. He nailed a touch and just goes for touch and throws herself over the goal line. So Abs, if you're the Saints, do you stick to the plan or you got to think of plan B now?
I think you do need to take a look at plan B. We saw what happened in the second quarter when they flicked that switch and they looked at different options. They weren't looking for that perfect play, and chipping the ball around that kick mark game doesn't need to be pretty. Just take territory no matter what it looks like, because they do look really dangerous when they can go with speed and get their forwards one-on-one in their forward half.
So Priest with the hurry kick. Good to see Exxon in this contest. He's back on the ground after spending almost 25 minutes on the bench. Good kick. Chopped off by Miller, who goes over the top. Second and one-on-one now. He does well. Gets the hand pass to Berg. Under pressure, gets it down the wheel. Driscoll stands underneath. Good contested grab against Lambert. Right in front of the Freo faithful. Pretty happy with that one. Keeps it long down the line. Another good contested mark. This time it's strong. Rimstrom's having a sensational year for the Dockers. And a lovely target inside 50 in Hetherington.
Get another look at it.
That's unlucky.
Could just be. And a couple of looks at it in this third term already for her first goal in AFLW. What a passage of play that was. Just kick mark, kick mark. Hetherington only about 25, 30 metres out, slight angle.
Surely this one's going.
Surely.
Right at home with her, Hetherington. This time again, it snuck away to the right and off hands.
May have been a little bit further than 25, 30 out. I robbed her of about 10 metres there.
So see Lambert there taking a breather.
It's a credit to Fremantle's defence, though, and their ability to just take the sting out of it, take the speed out of it from a St Kilda perspective. Just have the game on their terms in this second half so far.
I guess the positive for the Saints, they haven't let the score come through, even though they've been under siege.
They have not conceded a goal in the third yet. 9 entries for Fremantle to 5 behinds.
Smith happy to run that one over the boundary line in front of Newton.
See, almost every player on the ground is squeezed up inside Fremantle's forward half. So even when St Kilda do gain possession and try and drive the ball out, they don't have many options.
Wardlaw doing the ruck work against Strong. Good hand pass over the top. Newton trying to muscle it away, get it towards Scanlon. In the end, Wesley carries McCarthy over.
They've pushed back now, but it is so important to hold that field position, because if the ball's going forward and you're trying to get some ascendancy, you need the options, you need the one-on-ones, and allow your forwards to at least compete.
So Nick Del Santo up there with his coaching panel. Newton went without the footy, and that's a great tackle. And Smith Simpson looked a little uncomfortable. They carried on the Dockers. Trudgeon puts a tackle on Hetherington. Strong, go against Wardlaw. Tap comes out wide. Newton first onto it, sold some candy, and then went with a little check side towards the hot spot.
Priest hurriedly to Kelly. Vesely kicks under pressure. Seth is at the right place at the right time. Should be going up to score though. Just over 2 minutes to play in the third term. Pokes it, looking for the lead. Eden Webb-Webster, a little too much on it. And Priest can find the target in Exxon, who's fortuitously paid the mark. A little green Exxon. Just fell out of the bread basket. Goes towards the boundary. Doing well to get a hand on it with friends. So it'll be tossed in.
Just need a little bit more time in possession as well, St Kilda. If they're able to find a mark or gain possession of the ball, just take their time. They might be rushing it a little bit at the moment.
Wardlaw took front spot. A little toe poke on it. Strong work by Smith. Did the body work. Crashing in was Exxon. Got it to Lambert, who just shuffled it out to Wardlaw. Now the work to do against Brazil. Trickling goal with a hand been on it. Pugh decides to keep it in. Goes to Brazil, who dances across the goal line and then kicks it out wide to Verrier. And then pokes it over the top. This lovely ball movement by the Dockers.
How good was that from Ash Brazil? Just refused to even concede it behind. Backed herself in, took a good 10-15 metres and really got them going in offence.
And then Lally hit Antonio off a really long lead. Inside ball to Runnels. Just soaking up the seconds in this last minute. Possession footy for a moment for the Dockers. Should be all over the top. Runnels again. It's out wide to Brazil. Just casually pulled that in with a one hand, Brazil. Oh, it was Wardlaw. Went the ambitious fly over the top. It got to Lally. Up and under inside 50. Tried doing the big fly, couldn't come away with it. That was good by Mulholland. Slick little hand pass. This one, fine shot off goal, is wide from McCarthy. Just the mine up. Time ticking away.
6 behinds. So you're right, whilst the Dockers have had all of the ascendancy in this third quarter, St Kilda's credit, defensively, they have not conceded a goal.
So just 4 points in it. As a siren sounds as Kelly takes the mark. So the quarter dominated by Freo in the play, but not on the scoreboard. So the Saints still live in this one, just a 4-point margin as we turn for home at RSEA Park.
This guy flat. All right, three-quarter time here, folks. It's the Dockers by 4 points, 2-6-18, leading the Saints 2-2-14. Of course, the Dockers putting on 6 behinds in that quarter. If only they had a kick straight, they could be 2 to 3 goals up. Saints only managing 1 behind. Let's just have a look at the stats quickly. Serene Watson leading the way on 19. Hannah Priest on 17 with Emma Driscoll and Aisley McCarthy. There we go. Just run down the board a little bit. Here we go. Just roll down your favourite player and their stats. Have a little bit of a look at that. Pause if you want to have a look at your player and just to have a look at their stats a little bit more closer there. We'll have a look at the goal scorers now. Of course, the goal scorers for this game. Kick Oak with 2 goals there for Freo. The rest are single goal scorers. Jesse Wardlaw and Nat Exton. As I said, we haven't had too many goals at the present time in this game. Just the 4 goals on the board. There we go. We'll be back in just a moment, folks.
Freo turn for home with a 4-point lead, and it's off the back of Kikowak's work. She's kicked their only 2 goals this game. That was the first one, her first ever AFLW level, and didn't they enjoy it too? They had plenty of run in that third term. They couldn't get reward for effort on the scoreboard though, so it's just a 4-point margin. They lead by Ab, so still a chance for Nick Del Santa and those Saints.
How good was that by Kikowak? An injury replacement player, of course, but as you said, for the Dockers, they dominated territory 12-4 inside 50s, but they just didn't capitalise with that scoreboard pressure. And for Nick Del Santo and his side, defensively they did really well to not concede a goal, just the 6 behinds. But when they are getting the ball, there's just nowhere to go. They need to try and stretch the defence and work their way forward.
Let's have a look at the Austin Strong moment from the first half. It's a lovely bit of work from O'Driscoll. Game number 50. Just tough going back. You should probably get a knee in the back, and copped one too.
That's brave by O'Driscoll, and she was massive in that third term. 8 disposals, 75% kicking efficiency. 3 contested possessions as well.
Let's get down to a catch because she's got the Freo coach, Lisa Webb, alongside her.
Yeah, Webby, so far it's a very arm wrestle. Do you think this game will break open?
Yeah, we're hoping to. We've changed a couple of things up forward, and yeah, mids really got to work. We were a bit slow early to reference, but once we kind of got on top of that, obviously contest is queen, so we're really keen to get to work, especially kicking with the breeze in this last quarter.
What do you think your team needs to do this quarter to win this game?
Yeah, we need to obviously win it at the source, which is really pivotal, and then we need to make sure we run it out. We're a fit group. Obviously, our forwards have got a bit of a look that quarter. We just didn't capitalise, so we're looking forward to it.
Thank you so much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Toby. Well, as we know, they can run it out. They were superb to finish last week. 4 goals in 8 minutes to finish that one. Now, the aid of a bit of a breeze here. Interesting to see what those little changes that Lisa we've talked about up forward for Freo, if they can get the job done.
Yeah, we will take a look at that, no doubt about it, but they certainly were strong around the contest in that third term. Plus 8 contested possessions, so that's where Lisa Webb highlights as a key area for them. But as I was saying with the Saints, they need to, on transition and turnover, stretch the ground, test Freo's defence, because at the moment they're squeezing them in really well.
Lovely mark taken by Nicola Stevens in defence. She goes short to Smith, who looks out wider to Vesely. Carry over the top. She's going to have 2 to beat though. Goes low and hard against Beaton Webster, and she's been pinned for holding the footy.
How good is that attack on the ball from the Dockers? 4 Fremantle Dockers just descended on the player there. Relentless.
Short option in McCarthy. Runs around the mark. It's up towards Strong, but batted away by Stevens. So Strong, who started the game on fire, has been held a little bit better by Fiedler as the game's gone, but still putting in a really good performance.
Such a competitor. Just refuses to get beaten, as we just see there.
Does it all herself, sends it inside 50. Stevens with work to do. Just dropping into that high tackle of Mulholland. A little push and shove off the play as well. Trudgett goes for territory. Strong's in the perfect position for it though. And sees an option through the middle. It's O'Driscoll. There's the next option inside 50 for O'Driscoll. Just popped once Hetherington, who went back, got a good piece of it, couldn't quite hold on. Mulholland did well to not infringe. Against Smith, and it'll be a stoppage inside forward 50. And the umpire's found a free kick in the ruck contest. It's going the Saints' way. So Stevens is waved on to play on. She's able to find a friend on the outer side. Told to go, so goes for territory. Wardlaw underneath, had a couple to beat Exxon at ground level. Couldn't get it to Smith. Still fighting hard over the footy. The umpire lurking. No, we'll just throw it up.
Fremantle just making it very hard for Saints to exit their D50. They haven't spent much time in their forward half in the second half, so here we go, friend, if this is a better build-up.
A little bit of run from behind too. The kick over the top. Exxon just needs it to bounce up and get out of the tackle. The little hand pass on. We know Kelly's got pace. Has a bounce. Towards the
How good was that chase down tackle? Brilliant work there by Lowe. Was not going to get beaten. It was a great run by Grace Kelly. Just backing herself in, taking grass. It's a good passage of play, but defensive efforts of Lowe saved that one.
Currently up towards the wing. Stevens under pressure. Hetherington with the tackle. Antonio joins her over the top. Fiedler and Strong down to McCarthy. Kick under pressure is going to work out okay. It's onto the chest of Mulholland. There's options circling inside 50. Antonio in the end just says, put it up in the air, I'll do the rest. Standing underneath has a couple of beaten can't. Although the umpire's found a free kick for a hold. It's going to Antonio.
And Priest can't believe it. The crowd doesn't like that one. They're a passionate bunch here in Moorabbin. Let's take another look. Yeah, just on the arm there. From Nick Stevens.
Pretty straightforward. Antonio to stretch the margin. Looks lovely off the boot. Just off to the left. So they keep them in at the Saints with this inaccuracy, the Dockers. The margin now at 5.
7 behind straight for the Dockers, so you just touched on the accuracy. St Kilda are well and truly in this game, but they need to find some real ascendancy in their forward half. Hannah Priest is absolutely crunched.
Made to work for that one. Speaking of crunch, we saw East get crunched earlier. Ketchy, any word on how she's doing on the Dockers bench?
Yeah, unfortunate news from the Dockers camp. Dana East will no longer take part of the game due to concussion protocol.
Thanks for the update. That tackle slips high too.
That's bad news for Dana East. We know the condensed fixtures are taking place this week into next week as well. It's a few weeks coming up, so it's terrible news.
Strong flies for that one. Miller tried to go off the deck. Keeping in well was Mulholland. McCarthy under pressure. It's out of bounds. Freo have their next game Tuesday night against Geelong.
With the 12-day concussion protocols as well. I was speaking to Nick Del Santo pre-game. They've got 4 games coming up in 14 days. So if you do cop a concussion and enter that 12-day protocol, you're missing a lot of footy in season 9.
McCarthy with the 1-2. Jacobson just wants to hold on to that one. Got it to Guthridge, who aims for the boundary.
Fremantle are just setting up really well behind the ball as well. So as soon as that footy comes out, they've got this beautiful arc of squeezing the Saints in their forward half, not making it any easy for them to get easy exits.
The margin may only be 5 points out, but you feel like the Saints are just hanging on, don't you?
It's because Fremantle have had so many looks at it, but they just haven't been able to capitalise on that forward dominance that we're seeing in this second half. Just keeping the Saints in it.
Russell loads up. McCarthy over the top, hurriedly boots the ball. This one's going to go wide. So we throw in deep inside forward 50 for the Saints.
Now 6-1, inside 50s in the 4th term.
So the Saints, plenty of pointing, making sure everyone's matched up where they should. Hetherington to do the ruck work. Straight to McCarthy. As it spill out, Antonio fighting hard, trudging over the top. McCarthy. Out of bounds it goes.
So the Dockers are really missing Gabby O'Sullivan out there today. is a real live wire for them in their forward half and absolutely makes the most of her opportunities. Kicked 3 last week and was pivotal in that 6-point win against the D's.
Tap comes away. Hurry kick by Kaufman. Under pressure, the Saints try to clear. Exxon underneath it. Got pushed off initially by Lowe and then happy with the boundary line. So much of this term being played in Freo's forward half. Saints defenders doing really well to hang on. You can see Hannah Priest there trying to organise the troops. Wardlaw in the ruck, being wrapped up immediately.
Watson and Priest, the leading disposal winners for the Saints as well, so they need some of their midfielders to just really take the game on. They need somebody to break this game open.
Kick comes out wide, O'Driscoll fighting hard forward against Richards. Wrapped up, Exxon's not going anywhere.
I need to look at somebody like a Jamie Lambert, game number 76, such an experienced campaigner. Just needs to grab this midfield and find a way to break it open, find a way to find some space and some quality ball movement and find that connection piece mid and forward.
There's Lambert. Around the stoppage. Hurry kick round the corner, Exxon. Got a touch on it, couldn't take the mark. No, she didn't get a touch on it. The umpires might want to talk about it. And it's deemed that it was took it off the leg, above the knee, so it'll be thrown in. So Wardlaw up around the footy, doing a bit of ruck, a bit more ruck work in this term. And against Lindstrom. Strom does it herself. Kick ricochets. And then bounced away. Pinballing around. There's Nick Del Santo coaching from the bench. He was in the box earlier, but he's come down boundary side. Trying to lift his charges. Newton with the clearance. The outstretched arms of Jacobson should try and follow back up on it. Priest is there. Little hand pass away. Watching back round the corner. Strom on the end of it. Lambert just stole it away. Chipping ball over the top. Might have been an early hold. That's what the fans wanted. So did you, Anne. That was there. And that's it. And Richards able to kick it wide up towards French, who's flown over the boundary line with the footy.
There you go, there's Jamie Lambert. That's what they need. Somebody from stoppage just to make something of nothing, but credit to them. They won the contested ball, got the clearance, gained about 50 to 75 metres of territory, and that is going to be hard to find against this Fremantle Dockers side that have defended so well for 3.5 quarters so far.
Just doing it inch by inch. Guttridge with the hurry kick inside. 50. Oh, that's a fabulous tackle. And Xenos should be too far out to score. It has been so rare to have these entries inside forward 50 for the Saints in this last term. Should just poke it up to the hot spot and want to fly. Newton in front, Smith lurking, good smother on the kick. Friend has her shot smothered. Kelly puts the tackle on.
The double smother there. There is no space. Let's take a look at it.
First McCarthy's there for Guttridge.
The double-double.
And then Veria. Oh, here's Lambert. You wanted her to do something. She can't quite bend enough on it.
She must have heard me though. She's getting to work in this 4th term. Lambert's up to 19 disposals. 11 contested possessions. Really is trying her heart out in this St Kilda midfield group.
We know how damaging she can be around goal. The kick out long, emerging with it, beaten Webster in a little run from Freo. Just hurriedly through the middle, it'll work out okay for Kaufman. Where to now though, Jacobson? In the last line of defence. Is the ground will have spread from that movement end to end. Kelly needs to be a little clever here. Works out okay for Vesely. So under 5 minutes minutes to play. Freo lead it by 5. Vesely with some run, and then wanted Priest, who was disrupted by Antonio. McCarthy, Priest goes back to put the tackle on.
Does that from your captain, 50th game. Was in offence, and then as soon as that turnover happened, just switched immediately to defensive mode.
Strom all over Wardlaw. Smith merges with the footy and then tries to go back and get the errant hand pass. A good tackle by Simpson. And they lock it up. Balls over the top of Kelly. Strong, just a little touch there, but fighting hard for it. Just got it out towards grass. Screaming for it was Miller, who's kicked and then crunched. Into the middle they go. Priest over the top. Runnels with the hand pass away. O'Driscoll will have to beat a few. Does well to keep her feet. The footy finds Newton, who's hurriedly inside 50. Stevens couldn't reel in the footy. Jacobson does well to get it back to Stevens. A toe poke to Lambert. It dives but couldn't quite reel it in. And then Peter McWebster almost spent it before she had it. Stevens on hands and knees gets the free kick from Antonio.
Listen to the crowd trying to get this St Kilda side over the line. They need something special.
No time is ticking away. Kelly was clever, just got a boot to it to keep the ball moving. Anyway, Driscoll, who's been good again today, disposal number 19, gets in the way. Veria under pressure. Newton back to Veria. Bends it round the corner. This will bounce away, and the Saints will have footy in hand with just over 2 minutes to play. They trail by 5. Both sides looking for their 4th win of the season. She goes for territory. Vesely to Lambert. Just went for the grass in front of Friend, and she used her body well. Waits for the troops to track back. Duttridge had a couple to beat. Put the pressure on Brazel. Little hand pass over the top to Miller. The kick's a little up and under. Killian, good position. Friend fighting hard for it. Newton held up by Smith. Ball spilled free. Miller.
A lot of the play in this 4th quarter is just between the arcs. There's not much penetration deep inside either 50.
Exactly what's umpires. It's a blood rule, but well off the play. The captain and a Priest, who's going to be forced from the field with 1:20 to go. Here's Nick Del Santo on the boundary. So they'll get set for this stoppage. Vesely tried to flash through and then couldn't pick it up on the second effort. Wardlaw down again.
Oh, it's risky.
Simpson was all right to the middle. Jacobson underneath. Home fans want a 50. Berg waving her on, saying we've got to get it moving. Hurriedly the ball goes inside 50. Big pack of players crunching. McDonald snaps around the corner. Which way will it bounce? And ricochets off Stevens, lands Brazel with a cool head. Gets the hand pass out to Kaufman. And Miller can take a bounce and just kick for territory. It's all Dockers down there. Just got to pick it up. Peter Webster, one way then the other. Can she get through to ball eventually? In the dying stages, the Dockers find their third to put it beyond doubt.
That was hard work, wasn't it, Joe? But that all started from Ash Brazel, just the experienced head deep in defence. Just a brick wall back there, kept the ball in front of her. Then Hayley Miller identified, she had a couple of forwards to get the ball to grass and allow them to get to work.
Oh, she would have been relieved to get the slip on that in the end, Abs. I think we all were, Joe.
and coast-to-coast stuff from the Dockers to finish off.
So the margin out to 11 now. And with just 25 seconds to play, means the Dockers are going to secure their 4th win of the season. To just put a little buffer between them and the sides outside the top 8. Wardlaw to continue in the ruck. It's an important goal for them in the second. It hasn't hit the scoreboard since. As Lambert charges through the middle. Got it to McDonald, who spilt the footy. Smith does well with the tackle. McCarthy wrapped up. McCarthy's had a good day, Abs. What are her numbers?
McCarthy's 23 disposals, 14 handball receives, 17 uncontested possessions. Just finds the space.
Here she goes again. Little hand pass out to O'Driscoll. Game number 50. She'll get to celebrate. As the Dockers have done it, winning by 11 points in a tight and tough affair here at RSEA Park. Well, it was hard work at stages, Abs, wasn't it?
Certainly was. Both these sides came in at 3-1. And it's the Fremantle Dockers that prevail with their 4th win of the season. But they owned the second half. They owned territory. Inside 50s in the third alone were 12-4, and in the 4th term 10-4. So they just had all of that forward half ascendancy. But in saying that, St Kilda's defence held up for large parts of this game. They just weren't able to find much attacking movement, and that connection piece we spoke about mid-forward, it just lacked today.
Yeah, sort of the scoreline probably doesn't reflect really how dominant the Dockers were across the 4 terms. I've been really pleased with this performance, and we'll get down to a Ket. She's spending way too much time hugging all her old teammates, but she's got Hayley Miller alongside her.
Yes, crew, I've got the amazing vice captain, Hayley Miller. What a win on your 75th birthday.
We've been joking about that, 75th. I'm looking young for 75, but no, it's awesome to get the win on the 75th game. And I've never had a Gatorade shower before, but I'm pretty stoked I'll get one today.
That was an arm wrestle, but you girls really just came through and won that game.
Yeah, we're pretty confident with particularly our 4th quarters where we feel we're really fit. So to be able to run out the game again, we've had some really tight ones recently, so we know how to win them, and that's a great spot to be in.
Great start to the season. How far can you go this season?
Well, you're always thinking finals, so, the sky's the limit.
And tell me a little bit more about Gabby. To kick her first goal, how amazing is that?
Yeah, Gabby, which Gabby? Was it TK, Tanisha. She kicked 2 today, and the first one, fantastic. Just sell the dummy and then just sail it through. It was fantastic, and we love what we get from her. And she had a shoulder injury and then came through and kicked 2 goals for us, and that's all we had for the majority of the game. So she was fantastic today.
Amazing. Thank you so much, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Yeah, kick away there. She was sensational today. Lit up their forward line. Was back in the side, returning from a shoulder injury, and she was super important to them, and an important win for their season against a side. They were 6th and 7th as they came into the ladder today. So it just gives them that little buffer between them and the chasing sides underneath.
Yeah, it certainly does. As I said, both came in with 3 wins, 1 loss, so it was a crucial game, and the Dockers prevailed. But so many strong performances there. Ash McCarthy, it's hard to go past that leading disposal winner on the ground with 24. 14 handball receives, 10 contested possessions, 17 uncontested possessions. So was happy to win the ball on the inside, but then also utilise that outside run beautifully.
Let's get back down to Ketchy. I think she's got another milestone game. Well, she's hit 2 milestones in a row, I think, O'Driscoll, because she couldn't do her maths during the week, but she's finally played her 50th game.
Yeah, I've got Emma O'Driscoll here. Emma, whoa, it's Of course, how good is that? Emma, it's your second time now celebrating your 50th. Amazing win.
Yeah, we've been calling it 49 plus 1 today. So I'll cop it. Whether it's my 49th or my 50th game, we're not really sure, but that was bloody good out there.
And how special is that Gatorade showers from your teammate?
It's so special. I haven't had one since my debut, and I actually debuted against St Kilda. So it's a full circle moment for me, but just to get the win with the girls out here today after that hard-fought game is something special, and I'll never forget it.
Mate, you just go strength to strength every game. What can you put down your form this season to?
Oh my goodness, I'm not sure. Cara Antonio's my coach, so I feel like I'm trying to impress her always, and she's going to put a rocket up me if I don't do my best out there. So I just try and compete for the team, and I said get the horns out today, and that's what I think I did, and we got the win in the end, but it definitely was a full team effort.
Amazing. Thank you so much, and good luck.
Thanks so much.
11-point win to Freo. It was hard-fought, as Emma O'Driscoll said, and I'm sure they'll sing the song with passion, so stick with us because the song's on the other side of the break.
All right, there we go. Freo get up over the line, 3-7-25, defeating the Saints 2-2-14. It was Freo by 11 points. Well, there you go. Freo did well. They finally kicked a goal after kicking 7 straight behinds. She kicked a sealer off the ground, bit of a fumble, but she got the job done very nicely. St Kilda, though, they only kicked, my gosh, 1 behind after half-time. So it just shows you the great defence of the Fremantle side. Both teams had their opportunity in that last quarter. Went down to St Kilda's forward line many times, but the Freo defence were just way too strong and eager to stop St Kilda from scoring down there. So it was a great game. Although it was a low-scoring game here today, it was very entertaining, to say the least. It was good. And, of course, Freo now goes 6th on the ladder, and 7th on the ladder is St Kilda. Let me just see if this has updated. Let me try and reload this. There we go. There is the ladder as it stands now. Fremantle up into 6th place, played 5 games. They've had 4 wins and 1 loss, so they're doing the job nicely. 124.3 is their percentage. They jump a game clear of St Kilda, so it was like an 8-point game today between these two sides. St Kilda played 5, 3 wins, 2 losses now. There we go. That's it. The Gold Coast, they're on the bottom of the ladder at the moment, Paul. Collingwood got up and beat them today. Can you believe it? The mighty Magpies. They had their first victory in a long time over the Gold Coast Suns. It was a classic. Well, there we go. You like the girls? I know. It's not too bad. I don't mind them like that myself. That's all pretty good there, Paul. But we'll be back hopefully in just a moment to hear the theme song of the Freo team before we wrap this one up. No, you're all right. No, you phrased that spot on there. Just with the poll today, we had who was going to win the game. We had 29 votes in on this game, and of course 51% said St Kilda. So it was a pretty tight call on who was going to win this game. We all didn't really know, did we? But yeah, look, it was a good game, a good result, and a bit of a spectacle, even though it was low scoring. Don't forget, folks, coming up in around about 1 hour's time, or just a little over 1 hour, we got the next match coming up for you. And that is the game between the Western Bulldogs and the Sydney Swans. That being played, of course, at the Whitten Oval here in Melbourne, where the Sydney Swans go into this as favourites at 123, and the Bulldogs at 405. I would expect the Bulldogs to be about 40, not 4. Let me just check that ladder again for Sydney. There is Sydney sitting 10th on the ladder. They've had 2 wins, 2 losses. And, of course, the Western Bulldogs down there, they've played 5, 1 win, 4 losses. So that should be an interesting game coming up in a little over an hour. 40, yeah, the Bulldogs I think should be 40. You know what, even though they beat the Pies last week, Well, there you go. I think the Bulldogs and the Pies are probably the not the best sides in the competition this year. Anyway, we're going to head back down to the song in just a moment. But they're not there just yet. What else was I going to say? Don't forget, tomorrow we got the AFL Men's Grand Final. It's going to be a ring-a-ding-ding game. Come along and join us. I'm expecting to have tens of thousands of people dropping into the live tomorrow to say good day and barrack for their team. So it should be an absolute cracker of a day tomorrow. That we will be starting at 2 p.m. Melbourne time live. Come along and join us. You'll hear the commentators' thoughts. We'll have a look at my thoughts and all the rest of that jazz before the bounce of the ball is at 2:30 p.m. Melbourne time. So that's going to be an absolute ripper game. And of course, on Sunday, we're back to AFLW action where North Melbourne and Richmond play. We've got some good games there. GWS and West Coast, and of course Brisbane and Adelaide. So the two big games I'll be covering there. Let's go to the song.
The Dockers celebrating their fourth win of the year by 11 points in a tough contest against the Saints. They go to 4-1 for the year. That one loss just coming against Adelaide, who are undefeated. The results so far this round, I tell you what, that game between Hawthorn and the Cats last night, Abs, was sensational footy, wasn't it?
How good is that? 21 goals scored across the board, but Hawthorn run out winners there. And round 5 already, with a halfway point of the AFLW competition, and it's incredibly exciting. The Dockers now a trip down to GMHBA Stadium on Tuesday, and for the Saints, who started so strongly at 3-0, they've now had back-to-back losses, and they take on Adelaide next Friday night, so things get tougher in a condensed fixture.
Absolutely, and that match, so Freo will stay in town for the week. Geelong, they've sort of been a little bit hit and miss. They've still got those stars running around, but that'll be a really interesting match down the highway come Tuesday night.
Certainly will, and the Cats need to start making a move, sitting in 13th. Season, 11 games, 10-week season. You don't have much time to get the wheels rolling, so that's going to be a big one next Tuesday.
Absolutely, and plenty more games to come across this season as we see Emma O'Driscoll.
It's tradition,
She knows how to celebrate a win. They got the chocolates today by 11 points over the Saints at RSEA Park. Enjoy your evening. Goodbye from us.
All right, folks, that's it. That is game, set, and match for this match. Thanks, Eddie G. Thanks, Paul, for coming in. Annie and everybody else, and Ryan, who was in the chat. That's it. Game, set, match. It's the Dockers by 11 points here at RSEA Park here in Melbourne. Don't forget, tomorrow. But come along and join us in the next live, which will be in about 1 hour's time. We'll go along for the next game. As I said, that next game, of course, is Western Bulldogs taking on Sydney Swans. So that should be another good game there. Hopefully. There we go. All right. 1 million in the chat tomorrow. There just as well could be. Grand final day. It is the biggest sporting event. Make no mistake, folks. The biggest sporting event here in Australia. That comes up tomorrow. All kicks off at 2 p.m. Melbourne time. Should be a ripper. All right, folks. Ciao for now. Paul and Addie G will catch you in about an hour's time. Ciao, boys.